Y'all have a lot of pictures and everything.
I was a picture taker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Growing up, we always had like a lot of home videos.
Yeah.
We always was recording everything.
I know it.
Yep.
We were watching one the other day.
Yeah.
A guy was about 6. All right, I'm ready.
All right, so I'm here with Mr. Jim Clingman, and we're in Easley, South Carolina.
Right.
And how long have you been here?
Little over 5 years.
5 years from Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah.
How far is that?
Oh, it's about 460 miles.
Mm.
Only about a 7-hour drive.
Wow. When's the last time you were home?
We were there last month on
For Christmas?
January 29th
Oh, okay.
for a party
Mm.
for my sister-in-law.
Nice, nice. Prior to having ALS, what did you know or hear about it, if anything?
Not very much.
Mm.
Of course, the Lou Gehrig thing.
Mm.
I saw that film, when he announced that he was retiring. But I'm trying to think, before I got it, I don't remember seeing anybody who had it.
Did you know, like, you just knew of him? You didn't know, like, what it was or anything
Well,
like
I
that?
kind of knew what it was, paralyzing
Briefly.
disease. That was about it.
Yeah. What symptoms did you initially have? When did they start?
I first noticed something was wrong when my left foot started flopping down, foot drop. And I used to be an avid bowler, and I started falling at the line just before I would release the ball. And of course, as bowlers do, you think it's your shoes. So I wiped them and brushed them. Finally bought a new pair of shoes. And it continued. And so I quit bowling because I didn't want to get hurt.
Right.
And that was about late 2009, I think.
Mm. So you quit, like, not knowing what was going on?
Didn't know what it was, but I couldn't maintain my level of skill because I was, just either slipping or sticking. I was a pretty good bowler, so I said, well, I'm not helping the team, so I stopped. And the symptoms just got worse of my leg. My left leg got weaker. And I was also an avid cyclist.
Right, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed I was getting weaker in my left leg, especially climbing hills. But I kept on riding, and finally went to the doctor, and they recommended physical therapy or surgery because they did an MRI and told me that my nerve in my 4 or 5 lumbar vertebrae was rubbing against the bone, coming through that little opening and rubbing on the bone. So he said, well, we can fix it by surgery or you can go to physical therapy.
This was in
So I
2009.
chose physical therapy.
Right.
Yeah, that was late 2009. And I started physical therapy and did it virtually the whole year of 2010. Kept writing, albeit slower and weaker. But 2011, they kept saying, well, it's not getting any better. Do you want to do surgery? I said, well, I'll wait until after the writing season.
What was your wife saying about it? She
didn't really know what it was either. She knew I was, getting weaker. And I think I fell a couple of times from dragging my foot on the carpet. My toe got caught, and I fell a couple of times. So after that riding season, I had back surgery in November of 2011. And it was simple. I didn't even stay all night in the hospital. But next couple of weeks, I thought I'm ready now, But my wife Sylvia said, you still not walking right, so it's not getting better. So we started to go back, try to find out what was going on. Nobody could tell us. And that whole year went by with me going to orthopedic doctors and neurologists. Nobody could tell me what it was. And 2013, finally, in August, a neurologist in Cincinnati identified it after numerous MRIs and X-rays, and CAT scans, what do you call it, EMG, where they put the needles. I had 3 of those. And he finally told me in August of that year.
2009 to 2013.
Right.
Well, when you were having all those different symptoms and, with your leg, like, what were your thoughts and feelings? What did you...
I didn't really dwell on it. I was frustrated because I couldn't ride up to my normal level. In July, I stopped riding in July of 2013.
Wow.
Simply because it became too hard for me to pull my feet out of the pedals because they're locked in. So I said it's too dangerous. But prior to that, in June, I did a 60-mile ride over in Kentucky. And I think earlier in the spring, I did about 106-mile ride with a bad leg. So as long as I could ride to some degree, I was, I wasn't dwelling on the fact that my leg was weak.
Yeah.
But when I stopped and finally got the diagnosis, that's when it all hit me. That some of the things I really like to do, I wouldn't be able to do anymore.
What was your first action after being diagnosed?
Well,
you were with your wife at the...
She had already moved down here because she got recruited by the hospital here. She moved down in July. I came down in October. But right after I got out of the doctor's office, she was on the phone listening when he was telling me. And she was just totally upset. So I went home and packed a couple of things and immediately drove down here. And talked, prayed, cried, everything that weekend.
And as far as Kaya, how did that go?
It didn't go well. I wanted to go and tell her, but she was at Howard University, and we drove up there Labor Day of 2013, and to tell her, but we couldn't. She was busy running around, doing her thing.
Did she have any idea as far as like what was going on?
She knew that something was wrong with me. And she knew that one of the possibilities was ALS. Okay. She always does research on everything, But it could have been MS, it could have been Parkinson's or something. But we ended up not telling her then, and I think we finally talked about it in December of 2013 because I think she was, I don't know if she was going to study abroad. No, that was earlier. So we had time here, Christmas, and we even took a trip, just the three of us, I think, that year. And, just started to talk about it. Not really in depth, but we all knew what it was and what the prognosis was.
Was how did ALS affect the people around you's lives, and do you have a caregiver?
Yeah. Well, on my way driving down here, after I heard about it from the doctor, I called my sister and told her to call my other brothers and let them know, because I didn't really want to talk about it back and forth. And when they found out, they didn't call me and bug me. They know how I am. They gave me a little time. But I'm sure it affected them. There are 5 of us, and of all 5, I was probably in the best of health among all 5 of us. So it was probably one of the last things they thought they would hear. And yes, I do have an attendant. The Veterans Administration has a home health care program. And they send an attendant 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. And she's been with me for over 2 years now. And she started out.
Or did you get to pick her?
I didn't pick her. The agency did. She has been outstanding. And it was, at first, all she had to do was, clean the room, make the bed, maybe get something to eat for me, but it has progressed to the point where she has to do virtually everything, as my wife does when she's not here. But she's been a blessing to us. Really helps. And she does it because she wants to do it, not for money or just to have a job, So I like that. That's a real blessing.
Do you ever feel alone?
No, I can't say that I do. Lonely, maybe sometimes, but not alone. I kind of work at it every day to see what I can do, still do, to stay busy. But it's getting worse. It's hard to fill the day, you know. So I find myself sitting a lot and watching TV and listening to music and just trying to get through the day. Get up next day and do it all over again. Yeah. But I have family and friends. People call, check on me. We left Cincinnati, came down here. We didn't know anybody. So that was kind of hard, especially on Sylvia. And we went back home as much as we could, but now it's more difficult. Because hotel accommodations are not good. So we're not alone, but you know, we miss our friends and church brothers and sisters in Cincinnati.
What do you know about ALS amongst African Americans?
Well, I know a lot of us have it.
More than people think.
Oh, yeah. More than people think. I know that when my daughter was in school, right after I got it, she was talking about it in some group discussion. And one of the students said, why are we talking about this and wasting time? Black people don't get this. And of course they were at Howard, which is virtually all black. And she told me, I said, he didn't know what he's talking about. Obviously, because it's like when you buy a car, you start seeing all those same kind of cars. So since I got it, I learned about many blacks, several, who have it or had it, mainly in sports. But there's a newscaster here in Greenville that has it. A friend of ours' wife got it. Since we've been here, she has since passed away. I heard of a lot of black people that have it now.
What's your daily routine like?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, too. Get up, eat breakfast, have some coffee, come in my office where you are now, get on the computer, and I play this little game every day on Facebook with a friend of mine in Cincinnati. He has this site and he asks every day to name a song that has a certain word in it. And you can look around and see. I have a lot of music in my head. So I do that every day with him and a large group of others. And I look forward to that because it's challenging. And after that, I'll go in the bedroom, watch news. And every now and then take a little nap, maybe an hour, not in the bed, but in my chair, and eat. Later on, when my attendant comes back, her name is Sissy, she'll fix lunch at about, she comes back at 3 and leaves at 5 and give me a shower, and get dressed, and go back and watch TV. Mainly basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
What team you like?
Warriors. Of course, I've done a lot of writing and speaking on entrepreneurship and economic empowerment. So,
how did you find out about me and what I'm doing? I remember Kaya sent you the article.
yeah, Black Doctor. Yeah. I saw that and read it.
That was in 2016.
15?
16.
Okay. Yeah, when I read it, I immediately tried to find it.
Yeah.
I said, I gotta reach out to her. And I sent you a book.
Yeah.
Copy of one of the books. Yeah.
Yeah. You emailed me and we talked on the phone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't, I mean, it was amazing, for lack of a better word,
Yes, sir.
what your family's been through with this. And I just felt like I wanted to connect with you to offer whatever
Right.
support I could for what you were doing.
Right.
So
I mean,
that's
because
how
at the
we-
time when that article was put out, I still didn't know a lot of black people who had ALS. So for you to reach out to me, and then it was like a few other people, I was like, wow. Because before that, I thought it was just. Well, of course, I didn't think it was just me, but I didn't know anybody else. You know.
Right.
So.
I'm always trying to connect with people. I believe everything is built on relationships.
Right.
I'm just the kind of person that's always trying to connect. But I felt compelled to reach out to you when I saw that article.
If you had to tell anyone who was a potential producer of my film something, what would it be?
Do it. Produce it. Tell the story. It needs to be told. One thing that bothers me about this is that some people who have it are struggling beyond your imagination financially because they can't afford all the medicine and equipment, supplies that they need. I was blessed to have been in the Navy, and the vets pretty much take care of all my needs. But it's shameful, I believe, that we have so little attention and dedication to what I consider to be, one of the worst things you can have. And that's not to diminish anyone's disease.
Right.
Cancer is terrible. Other diseases are terrible. But you would think that this one, as much as they use the Lou Gehrig tape, would get more attention, more funding, more research.
Right.
But they told me that only about 30,000 people have it. And so not a lot of money's being invested to find a cure or the cause of it. So I think that's the worst thing for me, in my thinking, that a lot of people don't know about it. In order to help and in order to do the things that need to be done on an individual basis, people have to know about it.
Right.
The Ice Bucket Challenge was good, but I think it stopped short because what I said about it was that too often we get hung up on the celebrity and the excitement of the act of pouring ice over your head. But I said that it would be nice if everybody who did that, took that challenge, would first talk about the importance of a cure, even say a prayer for people who have it before they got the ice poured on them.
Yeah.
But it got to a point where it was just about the act and not about the disease.
Right.
Even though it raised a lot of money, $215 million. And I said some of that money should have been given to the individuals who have it, who can't afford $1,200 a month for maintenance of themselves. Some of the money should have been given to the people who have it, who need chairs, wheelchairs, and hospital beds. Those things are super expensive. And that was my issue with the Ice Bucket Challenge. And it was too quick to pass. You know, we get excited about moments, but we're not willing to start movements.
Right.
And a movement is what we need, not just one exciting moment.
Right.
So I would encourage anyone out there that you're talking to step up and help you produce your film and get the word out and have an actual movement start that can help the people who need the help.